And a lot of what Cartman does is very mean-spirited humor, or worse than mean-spirited. And that's just, again, it doesn't do anything for me. It's a waste of time comically for me. I don't find it funny. The opposite, actually. And so, you know, to be quite honest, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. It just shows that I'm flawed too. I'm only human. Like every time I can screw over Cartman, I took it. Every time I could screw Cartman over, I just did it because I just don't like his character. And so for me, it's entertaining and fun to screw him over. And again, if you're a Cartman fan, then awesome. You're definitely allowed to be. But I mean, I'm way more a fan of Butters and Kyle and Stan and Kenny, and various other characters in the show. Apparently, I really enjoyed Randy a lot. Randy was always that other. By Randy, I feel like that's Stan's dad. I don't know why, but Randy ended up getting up there for me. Even though in the show I never really paid much attention to him, he was just kind of there as Stan's dad. But apparently, he became a popular character for me. But anyway, without giving too much away. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Fractured But Whole. Hoping to be able to put out videos of that immediately after the videos of The Stick of Truth. So thank you for asking me about that. Very good question. This game is over at that, my hope. There's a secret cutscene if you hit continue. Oh, I think I got to the secret cutscene. Well, I want to hear your predictions for next episode. I recently discovered a 30-year-old... Well, I want to hear your predictions for the next episode. My predictions for the next episode is that hopefully Lucas sees through Jesse's red eyes and realizes that it's an imposter. Hopefully we'll get a chance to... I'm hoping we'll get a chance to, at the end, get Nurm back and get Radar back. Obviously, I want to be able to team up with Lucas again, because we haven't seen much of him at all in the last couple of episodes. So he needs to come back. It'd be nice if Lucas was the narrator for episode 5, which probably makes a lot of sense since Radar is a determinate character for episode 5, but Lucas seems to be always around. I'd like to find out what happens to Stella, how that all pans out, and I'm expecting some sort of choice where you can either show mercy or sympathy towards the admin, Romeo, or just take him down completely. And honestly, I don't know right now which one I would actually do for this playthrough. So we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I recently discovered the 30-day video game challenge on Twitter. Have you tried it or would you consider it? This is the month of my birthday, so I decided to use the 30-day challenge to mark the occasion. It's an interesting challenge. I don't think I would realistically be able to do it, just because I have too many responsibilities. We were just talking about responsibilities. I have too many responsibilities, and I have too many things that I really need to get done with my busy schedule that I don't think I would be able to commit to a video game. I don't like starting things unless I know that I can finish it. You know, for me, that's just the kind of person I am. I don't start things unless I can finish it, unless I know I can. So you know that when I start a Let's Play, for example, in my YouTube channel, there's no question I'm going to finish it. So yeah, that's why I don't think I'll have to bow out for this one, because I don't think I can promise myself that I'll be able to complete the challenge. But for the rest of you, that's fine too. Lucas, grr, Romeo leaves Lucas alone, or grr, I'm gonna take back what I said if he hurts Lucas, grr. Any Thanksgiving plans? Yeah, we're gonna do Thanksgiving with Colin's family in Long Island, New York. Which is what we always do every Thanksgiving since we got married. It worked out for us well because Colin's family is very much into Thanksgiving, way more than my family, and my family is way more into Christmas than Colin's family, so it just works out perfectly. So that's what we're going to be doing, and it should be a great time. Lots of food. I just came back again from Louisiana and also had lots of food, so all I'm doing is gorging and trying desperately to hit the gym as much as I can so I don't gain too much weight during this season. Guardians of the Galaxy finale is out now. When will you get to it? Very good question, Evan. So not today. Most likely I will live stream that one next Sunday. I'll have a video about it later this week. So I'm trying to spread things out. We got a lot. I've got a lot going on today. So because I was considering doing a double feature and doing both Minecraft and Guardians of the Galaxy, but Colin really wanted us to do a review and analysis on Stranger Things Season 2. Because we both finished, Colin just finished watching Stranger Things Season 2. I just finished watching that and the Beyond Stranger Things, which those of you who are Stranger Things fans, definitely I would highly recommend watching Beyond Stranger Things, which is also on Netflix, which is, basically the host and the cast. It's normally like 2 to 4 cast members from Stranger Things, plus the Duffy brothers and the producer, and they just talk about it. It's really short, like 7 episodes, and each episode is just a little bit over 20 minutes a piece, so you can binge it in a day, most likely. But yeah, Colin and I will be recording a review and analysis of Stranger Things Season 2, so hopefully that's something you guys might find interesting and might look forward to coming up in the near future. Darth Vader, no. Seems strange that they hedged Lucas out of 2 episodes. Yeah, I think that was strange too. Stranger things have happened, though. It was unexpected, but I'd be more surprised if you suddenly decided to play Honey Pop unless it was like a co-op thing with Kathleenums. Huh! Honey Pop with Kathleenums. Huh! That is a really interesting... Huh! I wonder how that would work. Can you do Honey Pop co-op? I mean, I guess I could... I definitely would love watching Kathleen play it. She could drive and I could watch. Huh. I'd be totally into that. Kathleenums, if you're watching, yeah, let's talk about that. That would be a really fun thing to do. The song is called Jack's Lament. Thank you for that suggestion, Katpeto. Yes, I like that suggestion. The song is called Jack's Lament. I can send you a full version if you want. The description says dedicated to Voss and Sammy. Sure, send that to me. Lucas's voice actor, Scott Porter, thy name is Scott Porter, had a baby and Guardians Telltale game to complete, so he didn't have time for episodes 3 and 4. Oh, okay. Got it. That makes sense. Okay. So hopefully he'll be able to do episode 5. Well, congratulations, Scott Porter. I'm sure your child is going to grow up to be ridiculously just like you, regardless of what gender it is. Congrats. I think South Park probably has more heart. The new season is alright, though. Oh, really cool. Congrats to him. Thanks for all the little info. Well, they say all comedy is based on some form of misery. It doesn't work unless someone's getting offended. Comedy is tragedy plus time. I hope my theory is wrong, but I've got a feeling that there will be a major death next episode. I want to be wrong, but I feel it's going to happen. Yeah, like Ruben. They did it to us with Ruben. I'm wondering if it might be Petra. I'm wondering. Ooh, that would be dark. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want it to be. I want everybody to live, obviously, but I'm wondering. They seem to be setting it up. They seem to be setting it up for that. Ooh, we'll see what happens. Play last episode with Cloudplay on. Hey, Bob and Tim, welcome to the live stream. And you have been asleep for a while, so I guess it's actually pretty funny when you do the math, GLaDOS. Though I do like the silly over-the-top episodes like Stan having an evil pet goldfish who's a murderer. So I've been playing Life is Strange Before the Storm. It only has 2 episodes, but I gotta say it's very enjoyable. I already know of your opinions about wanting to play as Chloe. However, it's not as bad as you may think. You're not forced to be a jerk to people. See, I've been told the opposite. Maybe, I don't know, maybe... That is interesting, because I've been hearing the opposite. That's a lot of people I heard were really frustrated at the fact that they were essentially forced to be a jerk to people. So, or you were rewarded. Maybe you weren't forced, but maybe you were encouraged or rewarded for being a jerk to people. Maybe that's what they meant, or that's what they said. Which, I don't know, it doesn't really say much, I guess, as a game for me personally, but... Evan keeps saying that, however, it's not bad as you think. You're not forced to be a jerk to people, and I love meeting Rachel Amber. I've only played 1 episode of it so far. In my sensing, something you should maybe consider playing one day. All right, Evan, I'll maybe consider playing it one day. I don't know, but I feel like the South Park game's humor is not the same as in the animations. Okay. I still found them hilarious. Also, that co-op with Phoenix Wright would still be good. Yes, I know. My list of games, I know. Or at least I can consume it in the game form. I don't like South Park, really. It's a bit too much for me. Yeah, it's not for everyone. No, I would not recommend it to everybody. Only certain people. Also, warning about Lucas. Someone asked Eric Stripe, MCSM's lead writer on Tumblr, if Romeo would hurt Lucas, and he responded very sarcastically, "Oh, I'm sure he's fine." Oh no! No! Watch the end be a choice between Lucas and Petra. Watch that. Oh no! That'd be horrible. Oh. They made Craig and Tweak canon. That was a pleasant surprise. Oh, Craig and Tweak. I mean, I know who you're talking about. I know who Craig and Tweak are. Now I'm gonna have to look that up. What do you mean Craig and Tweak canon? Is that what I think it means? Is that what I think you're implying? They made a new episode for the franchise thing to be as an intro to the game. It was alright. Mark Zuckerberg was a bit weird, but it's South Park. Oh yeah, I watched that. I watched that too. Like I said, I made sure I watched all of the Coon and Friends episodes so I would be ready. Just like I watched all of the LARPing episodes leading up to The Stick of Truth, because I wanted to make sure I got some references already taken care of before I started the Fractured Butthole. AA, you could only save one. Would you save Lucas or Radar? Don't ask me that question. Don't ask me that. Don't even ask me that question. Ah. That's like choosing between your child and your husband. Ah. I'll answer it this way. If Radar actually was, without any joking aside, all joking aside, if Radar actually was our adopted child, our adopted son, I would save Radar. If he actually was, I would save Radar. Since he's not actually canon in game, our son, I would choose Lucas. I would save Lucas. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, if it's a situation where you have to save your spouse or your child, I would save my spouse. My child. Whoa, whoa, what's that? I would save my child. My goodness. Oh my goodness, Freudian slip. Yeah. Saving your child. That's what I think. I think virtually every single parent would choose to save their child over their spouse. So, hopefully that makes sense. Cartman's a straight-up sociopath, but some of his storylines are interesting. Oh yeah, he is. Cartman, I never said that Cartman wasn't funny at all. He certainly can be very funny. And he certainly can have some really interesting storylines. But when he gets really sociopathy, the humor falls flat for me. But he definitely gets involved, and he is the instigator, and he is the catalyst for a lot of the plot lines, and he's the catalyst for the humor. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't have Cartman in the show, because I don't think the show would be nearly as entertaining or funny if Cartman wasn't there. But you know, he's more of the character that I love to hate. I love to hate him. Not hate to hate him, love to hate him. So I did not like Cartman during the Coon and Friends trilogy. I did not. He was just not. Nope. I was not having any of that. So he really ticked me off. He really ticked me all off a lot during that, especially when he did something really major against one of his own companions in Coon and Friends, and I was not having it. So I don't exactly remember the reason, but how come you fought so hard to prevent a relationship between Kate and Javier? I can't remember the reason at the top of my head. Because why do you always have to have a romantic interest in a story or a game? I don't know. I guess I just wanted to be different. I guess I was role-playing Javier to not be interested in Kate. And maybe it was me being spiteful because it just seemed like the game was forcing that. I really did feel like the game was forcing us to have feelings for Kate. And because they were forcing that, I was resisting it with every fiber of my being. Because you know how so many people out there complain about stop shoving the homosexuality down my throat, stop shoving your gayness down my throat. So I had a bit of a human moment where I was like, stop shoving the straightness down my throat. Even though I'm used to straightness being shoved down my throat every single day. I shouldn't say it that way. I'm used to being exposed to straightness every single day, like 24 hours a day. But this one was like a blatant force. A blatant, force feeding this relationship with me, and I didn't really appreciate that. So honestly, I think part of it was me being spiteful and saying, nope, 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 nope. Rejected. I am going to choose every single thing to reject this shoving of the straightness down my throat, because I feel like I'm allowed to, since a lot of other people complain about gayness being shoved down their throat. So that's probably my honest answer for that one, Evan. Good question. Kick the baby! Ike is so cute. I love Ike is so cute. The kindergartners and the babies in South Park are adorable. Pip was great too. I loved Pip. I love Pip. Pip was probably my safe second favorite character next to Butters. Oh, I loved Pip. I actually didn't know they killed him off. Oh, that's gonna be so sad when I find that out. There's also Rakuen and a bird story to play. I don't know if Finding Paradise is out yet, but I'm looking forward to more. Neil and Eva. Yes, a bird story. Yes, I said that's another thing I have to get to my list. I also love to see you play Yakuza, but I don't think that's your thing. I don't know what Yakuza is. Oh, and you should do Cook Serve Delicious as a co-op thing for a short special or something. That'd be interesting to watch. I'm gonna have to look those up. A major I had with the Walking Dead series was the fact that they killed off people, especially the ones that had a lot of development with them. I agree, totally. I don't see the point of killing in all that character development if you're just... I don't see the point of putting in all that character development if you're just going to kill them. It's like everybody had the same ending. They die. Do you somewhat agree, or do you have a different opinion? No, I agree with you. I feel like there were a lot of characters... I'm not saying they shouldn't kill off characters. I just feel like there were a lot of characters that they killed off way too soon. Just for the sake of the shock value, as opposed to the narrative. And I feel like it's more important, if you had to choose between shock value and what's better for the story, narrative-wise, I would choose narrative over shock value. So let me give a few examples. And again, we're going to spoiler territory here. I felt that there was a lot of characters with great potential that they killed off early. There were way back in the prison, there were two prison characters that you were starting to really like. I think there was one with like long blonde hair, and I don't remember one of the black prisoners. I forgot that I think they both were starting to get really friendly with Carol. They were becoming like the Carol and them were starting to have some sort of friendship, and I saw some really great story potential there, and then they just killed them off. The other character, another one, Noah. If you remember Noah, he was the guy that helped Beth. Yeah, he joined their group, he joined their party, only to be killed off like 3 episodes later. I'm like, what's the point of him joining the group if you're just going to kill him off in 3 episodes? That to me made no narrative sense, and if it didn't make narrative sense, then the only other reason they killed him was for shock value, which I don't agree with. So I feel like the show can be shocking enough without you having to kill off characters that have a lot of storytelling potential and value, because you're only hurting yourself, in my opinion. You're only hurting yourself from some really juicy, entertaining narratives by just killing them off before they have a chance to really tell their story. And I get it. I get that what they're trying to say is it's more realistic that way. It's, they're trying to hone in on the idea that this is That's the way the world is. People die, and sometimes people don't always get a glorious death, or worse, they get killed off before their story is even told. I get that. But at the end of the day, this is entertainment. At the end of the day, this is a TV show. This is a story that you're trying to tell. And if you're sacrificing entertaining storylines, then you're missing the point of a piece of media that's supposed to be entertainment. Especially if you do it so often and so gratuitously that it turns people off and makes them frustrated from continuing to watch your show. Because again, at the end of the day, this is a TV show, therefore it is a business, and you want people to continue, consuming your product. You want people to continue, watching your TV show, because otherwise, if they don't, then there isn't a show to put on. There isn't a TV show to put on. So I'm not saying that you should cater to the audience all the time. I'm not saying you shouldn't kill off characters. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to be realistic. But they do it way more often than I think they should, to the point that I feel like they did not successfully choose the lesser of the two evils, and I felt like they were shooting themselves in the foot more than they should, for their own good. So that's how I see that. Very good question, Evan. So I agree with you, Evan. The challenge is simply answering 30 game-related questions, one per day. For example, a game with the best graphics or art style, a game you think everyone should play, that sort of thing. Oh, that I could do. I could do that. But one thing I will do that before is, it looks like by the end of the year, I'm not counting the chickens before they hatch, and I don't want to be presumptuous by any stretch of the imagination. But I just noticed that I'm getting pretty close to 10,000 subscribers. I don't know if I'm going to hit 10,000 subscribers anytime soon. In reality, I don't know if it's going to happen before the new year. But if I hit 10,000 subscribers, I am going to, in celebration of that, I am going to ask the viewers to suggest top 10 lists. To celebrate 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to ask for my viewers to propose 10 top 10 lists that I can make videos about. So I'll make 10 different videos. Each video will be a top 10 of something. And whatever you guys want me to talk about, to discuss in a top 10 list video. And maybe that'll be interesting. Because I've always wanted to do top 10s of stuff, and I thought that having 10,000 subscribers would be a great excuse to celebrate. And it can be anything. The top 10 you suggest could be anything you want. It doesn't necessarily have to do with gaming. It doesn't have to do with video games. It doesn't have to. It can be about any topic, really. Any top 10 you want me to do a top 10 on. Definitely make the top 10 about video games or tabletop gaming or food or whatever. Or if you just want to know more about me, if you want to know a little bit more about me, then you could ask me a top 10 that is unrelated but might be interesting. So that's what I'd like to do. So keep that in mind. Start thinking about top 10 lists that you think would be interesting for me to do a video on. Cough, Luke didn't deserve to die. Who do you think will die? Yes, exactly. Who do I think will die? Honestly, I feel like it's going to be a choice between Petra and Lucas. That's what I think. Angel Arts probably answers 30 game-related questions after every live stream, so I think we can let him off. True. I hope I may be wrong, but I think it'd be between Petra, Lucas, and Radar. That could be true. I agree. Oh, I agree. I mean, I do like the VAs for Honey. Yeah, I think I talked about Luke's death in Walking Dead. I think I've said a lot about it, so I don't want to rehash and beat a dead horse or a dead Luke. I don't ever want to beat a dead Luke, because Luke doesn't deserve that. I do like the VAs for Honey Pop, but you'd have to censor, I guess. I meant co-commentary, but yeah, it's definitely probably not your thing, even if they made a male version. I love that Walking Dead doesn't shy away from killing developing characters. It makes you nervous every episode because you know nobody is safe. So there's real risk of losing your favorite. So many shows were just, oh, he won't die because he's one of the main 5. Yeah, I don't need. I don't mean don't make don't make certain characters safe. I love Daryl to death. But I will say, if he does die soon, I'm not going to riot. Because I think that Daryl's story... Daryl had a chance to tell his story. You know, he's had a chance to evolve. He's had his chance. He's had a great narrative. Would I love to see more of him? Yes. Do I think that he can still have more great narratives? Yes. But when you're comparing him to another character like Noah, for example, Noah didn't even have the chance, and I felt that was a shame from a entertainment and narrative point of view. So no, I don't want anyone to ever think that Daryl's always safe or Rick's always safe. Heck, I would be the first to kill off Rick just to prove a point that nobody's safe. I would kill off Rick, not because I don't like Rick, or not just for the sake of saying, you know, nobody's safe, but also because I feel like Rick has told his story too. I feel like Rick has given a great narrative this entire time. You can argue that this is Rick's story. Sure. But if it were me, I feel like it was Rick's story, but he's told it. And, you know, I think that would be a really interesting twist to kill him off, because to show that he's not safe. So I don't like the idea that there always are these characters that are always safe. A lot of people did not like Glenn being killed off. A lot of people stopped watching the show because Glenn got killed off, and they're definitely, you know, they definitely are, you know, should do that if they are really that frustrated with the death of a character that they really love. But so yeah, it's a balance. I'm not saying certain characters should be safe. I'm just saying the potential, if they have said given their potential, unlike others, then sure, kill them off. If you think that you need to make a point that they're not safe. Not everybody is safe. I assume he'd be in it because of the cliffhanger, unless they have to reuse episodes. Thank you for the video, Ender Kitten. It would be poetic if she did sacrifice herself for her friends or something like that. Do you prefer more character development or more plot twists in a video game? Oh, that's a hard question, Evan. I mean, I like them both. I feel like you need to have a good mix. You know, I feel like you need to have a good amount of character development, but you also... Plot twists, I think, keeps you guessing, and especially if you can do something that is totally unpredictable, and it's cool. I mean, I love some of my most memorable moments are plot twists, whether it's a video game or a movie. If they do the plot twist, if they execute the plot twist well, they're very memorable. Other parts, that's half of my most memorable parts of movies. The other half of most memorable moments is character development, really deep character development. So I like them both. If you were to put a gun to my head and you were forced me to pick one over the other, I'll say character development. You know, I'll say that. But I feel like you need to have a little of both in order to have a really successful, entertaining story. Yes, you don't want me dead. Carry forth that belief in all things. Thank you, Petra. It's not you, Petra. It's a different Petra. Your names aren't even spelled the same. Jawbreaker, interesting. Hope you have the wrong, like the 3 characters you named, Twinklestar 8. Jawbreaker, I want to be wrong too because I love all 3 of them. Did you like Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls more? I think I actually answered this at the end of Beyond Two Souls. I enjoyed Heavy Rain more. I like them both, but for me, I felt that Heavy Rain was a better story and a better game, I suppose. I enjoyed it a lot more, and I think I was attached more to the characters. I was way more attached to the characters of Heavy Rain than I was with Beyond Two Souls. And I really just enjoyed the fact that you were playing four characters. The whole thing between Aiden and Jody, I think. The whole thing between Aiden and Jody, being the control of the two of them, were cool. But I really enjoyed playing between four different characters and jumping around, and just the idea that, you know, any of the characters could die at any moment. That was really ingenious to me, and it was a game mechanic that I really loved that I kind of missed in the second game. In this, not the second game, but in Beyond Two Souls. I am looking forward to Quantic Dream's next game, I Am Detroit, I think. I Am Detroit or something along those lines. And I definitely am looking forward to recording that, if Brian lets me borrow his PS4 again. Hark, what Telltale games do you like the most? Good question. My top Telltale game, my top favorite Telltale game of all time is Tales from the Borderlands, which just barely beats Walking Dead Season 1. Walking Dead Season 1 has a very special place in my heart, but I would put Tales from the Borderlands like a millimeter above that as my favorite of Telltale games. My third favorite Telltale game? Ooh. That one's hard. Because nothing really jumps out in my head as being completely above all the other Telltale games, all the rest of the Telltale games. Yeah, that is hard. That's really, really hard. I'm gonna go with the game that actually is a lot older than many of the recent Telltale games, just because I love the franchise, and when I first played the game, I loved how well they executed this franchise. And this is a game that came out long before The Walking Dead Season 1. It even came out before the Back to the Future game. It's not Sam and Max. I haven't played any of the Sam and Max games, but I definitely want to play the Sam and Max games because they seem a lot of fun. It's actually Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. But you can play too. That was based on Homestar Runner, a website called Homestar Runner. I don't know how many of you people are familiar with it, but I was a huge fan of that website, and of course Strong Bad. And that was the very first Telltale game that I ever played. I wasn't familiar with Telltale at all when I first started playing The Walking Dead Season 1. I didn't even put two and two together. I didn't recognize until much later that they were the same company who did Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. So I'm gonna say the third, that one, just so that I can have a classic Telltale game in there, which doesn't have all like the major decisions like they do now. The format is a lot different, but just as a game that's based off of a franchise that I loved, it was pretty solid. So I'll say that. Yeah, there's even a quest about him in the second game. Enjoy. Cool. Sorry to be so negative, but do you have a movie that you just passionately hate? Mine's Transformers 2, for the record. Still the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies that I hate. Is such it's the number of movies that I could put out that I just didn't outright like. There's a bunch. The ones that, so I guess I'll give a movie that I couldn't finish, that I couldn't get through, that most people love. So the one movie that pops into my head that I know so many of you are gonna feel like this is blasphemous, and you guys are thinking I'm insane. How dare I not like this movie? I just couldn't get through it. That was probably the first movie. Most movies that I start, I will watch it all the way through. I feel like I'm pretty tolerant about many movies that I start to watch, and I'll at least watch it till the end. This one, I just couldn't finish it. And I know what happens at the end. I know the big plot twist, the very major plot twist that happens in the end. But even though I found out what the plot twist was, it didn't inspire me or motivate me to go back and rewatch the movie again. Even the fact that one of the celebrities that star in that movie, I personally find very attractive. even that, and I consider to be a very good actor, even that didn't allow me to finish this movie that so many people love. And that movie is Fight Club. Fight Club. I couldn't get through it. When it got to the part, I think, where they were bashing each other's heads, when it got super, super violent, which is weird because, I mean, I can watch gore. I watch the Saw movies. I watch, The Walking Dead. So, I mean, I'm not bothered by gore, but I guess this is gore that was too realistic. Like, this wasn't like, The Walking Dead gore can get ridiculous sometimes. And, the Saw gore, that can get really ridiculous. There's some fantasy to that. But I think the violence of Fight Club just got too real, was too realistic for me. And other than that, like the storyline, I wasn't really caring about. The characters, I wasn't really caring about. Not even Bruce. Not even Brad Pitt, and I love Brad Pitt. But I really wasn't really feeling his character. I wasn't feeling the main character. I wasn't feeling the girl, the female, the love interest. I did not like her either. I didn't like anything about that movie, and I just couldn't finish it. I like the plot twist. I heard about the plot twist. I'm like, okay, that's clever. That's interesting. Still not going to watch the movie, though. So, yeah, I know, Blasphemous. That was a movie that everybody seems to love, and I just didn't like it. So, good question. Well, Michael Bay movies are just like turn your brain off and enjoy the explosions. See, I don't mind Michael Bay movies. I have fun watching them. I mean, I go into Michael Bay movies not expecting much in terms of like story or narrative, but that's not why I watch them. I just watch them because, I do like action, and explosions are entertaining. So, I mean, I'll just watch them just to have fun, mindless entertainment. Speaking of which, I've heard he's making a live action Dora the Explorer movie. Like, what? I don't know how accurate that video is. I want to see that. I want to see a Michael Bay Dora the Explorer. That'd be amazing. Play as a female in Honey Pop. Michael Bay is the bane of my existence. I don't even get me started. Are you looking forward to Detroit Become Human? Yes, very much. Yes. I don't know anything about it, but it's a Quantic Dream game, and I'm pretty much going to play every single Quantic Dream game that they come out with. So, yeah. I love Butters, but I feel sorry when Butters always gets the blame shifted on him because of Cartman or the main four boys. Thank you. That's another reason why I don't like Cartman, because he always gives Butters and everybody else a hard time, and I love Butters. So more fuel against Cartman for me. I wouldn't choose, or sorry, I didn't put that options there. It did seem kind of like a forced romance, especially when it's like, oh, your wife said she's gonna leave you, on that option where you're like, stand up for yourself, like, dang, Telltale. That one parody. What one parody are we talking about? The video game dialogue action way more aggressive than you anticipated. Interesting. Oh no. Sorry. Twitch was acting up. Sorry about that, guys. Do you think Shally will come back one day? I hope so. I do. I mean, Shally and I, we're still in contact with each other. We haven't had a full conversation recently. I don't know. I whenever I talk to her, I encourage her to. But it's up to her, really. I know she's got a lot going on, and I know that she wants to. I feel like Shally wants to. Whether or not she can bring herself to start more videos, it's completely up to her. I know that there are a lot of fans, including myself. I mean, part of the reason why I started YouTubing was definitely because of her. She and Reclusiarchs, also now known as the Artifactor, were major people who got me started in YouTubing in the first place. So I hope she does. I don't know how soon that will be, but I definitely hope she does. Yakuza is a pretty interesting story, but like the title says, it's probably not the type of stuff usually play. But the voice acting for Yakuza 0 is pretty cool. It seems to be Japanese only. I actually don't know what Yakuza means. I don't know what that word means. Should I know what that word means? Well, the character development was done for you to care about their deaths. Man, Telltale's probably gonna have fun with the next season of their Game of Thrones series. Introduce more characters to kill them off. I know. But I'm gonna keep Asher alive as much as possible. I know I'm looking forward to Detroit Become Human. I personally haven't loved the Quantic Dream game since Fahrenheit, aka Indigo Prophecy. I thought Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls were just okay, so I'm hoping this one will be returned to form. Cool. I remember people talking about mentioning it. I thought it already existed. Are they still working on it? Then again, I guess The Last Guardian took 10 years or whatever. 10,000 sub special. Maybe we'll finally get a food vid. Top 10 favorite recipes or foods growing up. You can definitely suggest that, Conpeto Kiss. Have you ever considered playing the Jackbox games? It's a bunch of party games and you can play with friends. I'll have to look that up. That might be a good co-op. After all the other co-ops I'm doing right now. Any plans to LP Mother 1 or 3? Possibly even a VA Let's Play. Good question. I get this question a lot. Mother 3, most likely. I will Let's Play it because I want to. I loved Earthbound. And I've heard so many good things about Mother 3. I've been kind of waiting for there to be an official dubbed, official Americanized version of Mother 3. There are dubbed fan ones. And I'm not saying I need to wait for an official one, but I'm kind of sort of in soft waiting for an official Mother 3 release for North America. If they don't, then of course I'll play the dubbed one. Voice act. See, here's a problem. I was able to voice act Earthbound because I've already played through it so many times and I know the game inside out. And it's way easier for me to plan to have something voice acted when I already know the game. Because voice acting requires me to like get the script and have all of these things already set up from the beginning before I even start recording. And doing what I normally would do to prepare for a voice-acted Let's Play basically requires me to spoil the game. Mother 3 if I wanted to Let's Play Mother 3, I would have to spoil the entire game for myself before I even played it. And I would much prefer doing a blind Let's Play of Mother 3 over voice acting it. So that's the only problem. So the most likely I will not voice act Mother 3 because I don't want to spoil it for myself. So I will probably do a blind Let's Play of Mother 3. What I would love to do a voice act of, I would love to do a voice acted Let's Play of Chrono Trigger. That's what I've been wanting to. I just don't know if I have the time to do it anytime soon. I'm still sort of like busy and recovering from other things, but that is a project that I would like to be able to do, is voice act Chrono Trigger. And if I ever decide to do that, I will let you guys know, especially if you want to help voice act for it. I've done a ton of top 10 lists myself. My most recent one is the top 15 reasons I believe the indoctrination theory. That's cool, Perfect Portal. I need to go now, but thank you for doing another great live stream, a day after my birthday. See you next stream. Bye, everyone. See ya, Twinkle. Harry Potter had both lovable, developed characters and great plot twist. I agree. But it's funnier this way. More Harry Potter stories would be amazing. I'd love to see Hark do a D&D campaign. I would love to see me do a D&D campaign soon. I haven't DM'd a 5th edition campaign yet. I've always wanted to. I haven't had a chance to, though. I haven't started the Pokemon one and do need to finish the Mass Effect one. Do you think Season 2 of this game is better than the 8 episodes of Season 1? Honestly, so far, no. I would say no. Because Season 1 had more Lucas. Season 1 had more Lucas. They had more Axel and Olivia. Don't get me wrong, I like the new characters here. I love Radar. Stella's interesting, Jack's interesting, Nerm's interesting. I probably will say that the new characters here are probably a little bit more entertaining than Olivia and Axel. But I don't know, we also had Ruben, and I miss Ruben. So yeah, I still feel like I enjoy Season 1 more, personally. I feel like I do. Yakuza would be like a Japanese mafia. I think. I gotcha. Also, did you like the first half of Story Mode, 1 through 4? The second half, I like the second half better because it was just more interesting to me. I will say that. I feel like I enjoyed 5 through 8 more of Story Mode. I do feel like I did enjoy that more. Even though we lost Ruben already by that point. I I thought that the episodes were more entertaining, more interesting. But Yakuza usually portrayed as thugs more than organized crime. It's been so many years, I don't think they'll be localized now if they haven't already. I wonder if the fan-made Mother 4 will ever come out, or if it'll be cease and desist like Pokemon Uranium in that Metroid fan game. I don't know. I understand why companies do that, why they do a cease and desist, but I feel like that's free publicity. You know, that is free publicity for your game. I understand that it's, you know, technically against the law. I guess I don't know what the law is like, but I mean, you're not supposed to be like supposed to be profiting off of other people's content. But if it's free, if the person is not gaining any money from it, if they're not benefiting from it financially, that essentially is free publicity for your game. So I don't know, maybe I'm just partial because I'm a gamer myself. I just feel like if I was a gaming company and somebody wanted to make, you know, this game and made it relevant, because, you know, Earthbound has a following, has a cult following, and I feel like, you know, if you're going to eventually make an Earthbound game, you might want that cult following to stay alive, and you want that fan base to continue to grow. And if you're not making a game yet, but somebody else decides to make a game for free, that just helps to build your fandom, build your customer, your viewership. So I don't know. It's probably not that simple, but for me, with the limited knowledge that I have about how that kind of stuff works, those are my thoughts, as accurate or inaccurate as they may be. You could do a voice of one of Undertale. I think is shorter. That is true. I could. Hark, if you ever play VR games, I think The Inpatient will be a great game. It is a prequel for Until Dawn. The Inpatient Willy. I'll have to look that up because I did enjoy Until Dawn. What remains of Edith Finch? I'm going to remind you every live stream, and someday, like with Until Dawn, you'll release. I realize I was right. Okay, Edith Finch. Have to put that on my list too. Pokemon Uranium is pretty good, and it's not like they charged for it, but yeah, it's a weird fan games. Weird fan games get in trouble for that. Oh right, Pinstripe is cool too. It has Jacksepticeye and a couple other LPers as VAs, I think. Oh, that's cool. I love Jack. I would love to meet Sean someday. I don't think that he would give me the time of day necessarily. I mean, he's a nice guy. He might give me the time of day. But like, I love Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye is a guy that I don't need to talk to him. I just want to give him a hug. I don't know. He just seems like I love my Irish friends. I just want to give that guy a hug. And if I could talk to him about stuff, that would be a bonus. I feel like the creator of Mother itself said he was fine with it. I don't know how much influence he has with Nintendo anymore. True. Epic, since Mario Maker's literally make your own levels. Especially since Mario Maker's literally make your own levels. Exactly. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for all the great QA questions. Those were awesome. Some great QA questions. Thank you for all of the game suggestions. I will have to write them all down after I get off of this live stream. Next week, hopefully, we will have the finale of Guardians of the Galaxy. So hopefully, if you guys are interested, you'll be able to join me with that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you especially to Clementine, to The Sylphwind, Keiki, Corey Combs, German Kiwi Gal, Jawbreaker696, Kunpeito Kiss, Perfect Portal, The Avenger, or Evan, Warm Fireplace, and Ender Kitten. Thank you guys so much for staying with me till the very end. You did not have to do that, but I totally appreciate that. So when I'm not lonely and all by my lonesome by the end of this live stream. And hopefully we'll have some more fun next time. So thank you guys so much, and until next time, love yourselves, love each other. Bye.